If you are a regular at YouTube, you have probably seen the video Fitna. It was made by a Dutch member of parliament, Geert Wilders, and even before it came out, there was a gaggle of YouTube videos from regular Dutch people begging the militant Islamists to please not target Holland as reprisal for this video. What you, or I, or anyone else thinks of this video is not relevant to my rant here. Why? Because it is not about Fitna, the movie, what it does or doesn't say, or about Geert Wilders and what he did or did not mean to say by making it. The point I am making is that everyone deserves to have their voice heard. I don't care who, what their message is, or anything else. And if you are an avid YouTube user and love to view videos representing all various ideas and ideologies, then you too have a vested interest in preserving freedom of speech. Now, pleading cultural tolerance, some people are attempting to silence us by reinstituting blasphemy laws. The UN has, again, submitted. But should the rest of us? Geert Wilders has now been charged under Dutch hate speech laws, the new code word for blasphemy laws. Whatever you think of him personally or of his message specifically does not matter. It even does not matter whose dogma it is to have blasphemed. The only thing that matters is that a state is throwing its considerable power to legally silence a voice. Any voice. It is a sad state of affairs when, out of fear of violence, civil unrest, eternal damnation, or in the name of keeping peace, governments would rather deprive their citizens of their basic human rights like freedom of speech and expression than uphold laws of the land which forbid violence and protect citizens from harm. Suing Geert Wilders just because he exercised his right to express his views, whether you agree with them or not, is called lawfare. Lawfare is a real threat to the ability of regular people like you and I to speak without fear. It reserves the right to speak, and thus define public opinion, for those who either belong to groups deemed privileged or to those rich enough to afford an army of lawyers to fend off nuisance lawsuits. But it gets worse. When a government engages in lawfare, the person accused faces much graver consequences than just being bankrupted into silence. If you do not wish to give our politicians the power to control what we say, publicly or privately, then you must speak up now, or we will all be silenced. Please, sign the petition which protests the prosecution and persecution of Geert Wilders. It's not about him. It's about not allowing politicians to make rules about which ideas are legal and which are not. By first silencing unpopular voices, politicians hope to confuse the issues, to make us think that it is about the message, not about their power to silence it. Don't let them fool you. It's about politicians giving themselves the power to silence us one voice at a time. Don't let them, please.